Hello everybody, how is it going? So, we're back on the sim. We're playing Croc. It's OP04. I won the dice roll. I'm going first. Yeah, got nothing to do turn 1. Turn 2, we got the Cento. We're looking good. But, besides that, Croc did get some new cards in OP04. And, they are all quite solid. I think Croc is going to be... I don't know if he's going to be tier 1 or slightly below tier 1, but he seems really good. He has a lot of answers to like top end, and he's also I also just really enjoy playing Croc. I think it's a really fun deck. So yeah, I would think that Zoro would be a bit harder, but blue usually does fine into red. Usually struggles against like decks like yellow that have a really good top end, but with the new cards, now Croc has some really good top end. Obviously we had Mihawk before, but now we have 10-drop Kaido. But he also has Red Rock now, which means if you have it, you pretty much just punish people for spending their entire turn playing a 10-drop. And you have ways to get, it back to hand with like Miss All Sunday. So Croc's late game is actually really solid now, which is really good for the deck. Our opponent's going very wide right now. We thankfully stuck the Sentomaru. I thought about swinging with him just because I had another in hand, but I don't think it's correct just because I really want to hold all my bodies till he uses all of his little bodies to swing. I'm just going to go 5. I know I could have gone 7, but I always kind of want them to counter out of life instead of taking it. So if they're going to take a hit, I'd rather it just be a 5. And I also will play the Alvida just to fight more for board. And thankfully they did counter the 5k hit. I'll take that any day. Yeah. Opponent could possibly have 5 swings this turn, but this is their Marco turn. So maybe a misplay to actually play down the Alvida. But if it stuck, I think it would have been fine. But he actually just plays down Fire Fist and kills my Sentomaru and my Alvida. So maybe it was correct to swing with Cento. I don't know. Honestly, I'm kind of cool with him going down 2 cards just because I know I still have another Sentomaru, and I'll be able to go, again, wide next turn to, again, hopefully deal or trade decently into his board. So we'll take that 7k hit. We pick up a Mihawk, which is pretty nice. This turn, we're probably just going to swing with the 2 swings we have and then just play down another Sentomaru, and that'll probably be our turn. We could also play Dofi blockers, but I'm not super worried about dying. I am still at 3 life, so we should be okay. And on the crackback, if we do the Sentomaru this turn, we will be able to clear basically this whole board. And because he countered out of that, I was actually cool with not swinging my Pacifista. It was almost like a bait because I mostly just wanted to play around Jet Pistol, but it got him to counter out of my leader swing, which is pretty nice. And I'm not going to rest any of my board because, again, I want my board to clear his board whenever he decides to swing with everything. So he's going to swing 6 at my life. We will probably take the 2k. It is our 1 2k, but I kind of assume that the rest of his board is just going to swing for 5. So we will use our 1Ks. We did draw 2 of the Pacifistas, so they're not doing much in hand. So we're just going to use them as counter power. And he actually swings 6 here, which is pretty interesting. He decides, I don't have a 2K, which, I mean, good call. But Croc does play, man, I think it's over 12 2Ks. It might be 16. You play a lot. So definitely an interesting play against Croc, but a lot of people probably don't know what the deck lists are looking like. And there is honestly a lot of room, like wiggle room in the Croc deck list. Some are running Sentomaru, some aren't. Some are running more events, like counter events, rather than just like Red Rock and 3000 Worlds. I believe this build I'm only running the 2 removal spells or events. So this turn, our Sentomaru has no more Pacifistas to summon, so we're just going to use him to clear board. We're going to go 4 at a Brook. Can't swing him into a Buggy because they are slash. We're going to go 5 at the other Brook with our leader. We're going to swing 6 at the Buggy, or one of the Buggies, and 6 at the other Buggy. We're just going to completely clear his board here. And we'll drop down the Mihawk, bottom the Dodon, and pass it back. So now he has like 1 to 2 swings a turn depending if he has a rush card or not. So we should be mostly okay in defending. We've definitely won board now, which is nice. And it should be pretty easy to keep board in our favor with our leader effect going up to 10 Dawn now. But he will play the Dawn, pick up a Gordon, so could potentially like my Mihawk when I swing with it, but still be a lot of resources from him. He's going to go 7 at my Pacifista. I will drop my 2k. I am pretty low on hand size, but I don't think it's going to matter too much just because we've won board so heavily. Our Pacifista does get cleared there. It's all good. It happens. I am going to go 1 Dawn on Sento, attack Zoro. I'm cool with him defending it because I could always just 3000 Worlds it. But because he doesn't, I get to 3000 Worlds to the Dawn, which is just as good. Just because I don't want him having any swings. Again, if he did defend it, I could have 3000 Worlds that and then like leader affected the Dawn, but I didn't really want to bounce back a Searcher. So now we're just gonna start pressuring life, make him basically go down to 1 this turn, unless he drops a Radical Beam or some form, or just drops a lot of cards from hand, either one. But he gets a Fire Fist trigger and kills Sentomaru. That's fine. We're gonna go 9 at life. Takes it. We'll bottom deck to the Dawn, and we'll pass it back. And again, it's like a little bit risky, because I guess if he had like 2 Zoros, we maybe could have died, but I imagine with the 2 life buffer, we probably would have been okay. But he's gonna play down double Gordon, -6 to my Mihawk, and then play Marco to get rid of it. A little bit greedy of a play, especially. I think this was a misplay, I'm not gonna lie. Him playing the Rush Zoro instead of just like trying to clear my Pacifista basically just like got him killed. Because he played, Zoro, and then neither his leader or the Rush Zoro could swing into my Pacifista. And we can pretty much just go for game now. So definitely a misplay on his part. Could have potentially lived 1 more turn. But we'll swing 9, he will take that hit. There aren't really many triggers other than like Red Hawk that would save him here. And that'd be crazy if he hit a Red Hawk. But gets a Radical Beam trigger. Doesn't really matter, we're still just going to swing 12 at life. And that is the game. I do have 1 more game, not against Zoro. It's against Whitebeard. But I figured these were kind of the 2 big bads of last format, so... Croc has always done pretty good into Whitebeard though. Like, that was one of his good matchups last set. Zoro was, again, it's always like a bit rough against Zoro, but it's definitely winnable. It's not bad. You just don't really play your 10-drop Kaido or your Red Rock. They both don't get a ton of value in the Zoro matchup. But turn 1s, we both just pass with no plays. I lied, he actually, I think, played down a Whitebeard Pirates his turn 1, but we have nothing our turn 1. And then he plays down another one his turn 2. And grabs a 9 cost off one of them. I forgot what he grabbed off the other. Not gonna lie. But we're gonna swing 6 with our lead. And then play down the Sentomaru. And pass. He'll be up to 5 Dawn. I assume if he has Marco, he'll play Marco. And it cannot pop my Sentomaru, so he should be pretty safe. Should be pretty safe. Not Zoro. Whitebeard really doesn't play a lot of removal cards. They don't really play Fire Fist, so... Our Sentomaru should be fine this turn. It'll play down a blocker Marco, attack me for 7. I will take that hit, and he'll pass it back. We're on 6 Dawn this turn. I'll definitely activate Sentomaru, and then I have a choice between swinging with my leader, or I can play down a Dofi blocker. I think the better play is just swinging with my leader, because he is at 3 life right now. And if he doesn't want to take this hit and wants to like block, the Marco can't come back. So it pretty much either forces him to take this hit or to drop 2 cards. And he does end up dropping 2 cards. Also, it felt good because I knew he had a 9-drop Newgate. But he actually plays Josu. And yeah, he must have forgot it doesn't have Rush. I think you need to be at 2 life or 1 life for it to have Rush. So definitely a misplay on his part. I mean, what are you gonna do? It happens. But our Sentomaru continues getting value here. My goodness. Sentomaru's like, just feels so good in the Whitebeard, just summoning 6k bodies. It's just, it's great into Whitebeard. But we're gonna swing 6 at his life. Just gonna tax his hand before he plays the 9-drop. And we do have a red rock for the first 9-drop. Inevitably, they always have 2, so yeah. So yeah, we're gonna swing basically 6 twice, and then 3,000 Worlds is Marco. Yeah, it's kind of like, even if he blocked there and then revive Marco, it's the same thing as him just countering, so I was kind of cool with him, not being able, or being able to block the first hit. And if he did, I would have gotten a swing with my Sentomaru, which I probably would have taken. But yeah, here is the first Whitebeard. We do have the answer to it, thankfully. It is so nice just saying no to top end. And because our board does have double 6Ks, we can get 2 swings here for 8. I could have gone 10, but I feel like just going wide sounded a bit better. Get probably 2 cards out of his hand instead of him just like taking 1 and being chill with it. So yeah, we'll pass it back. He here comes the second one. Yeah, it's like inevitable. He'll go 8 at life. I'll take, and because I have plot armor, I do pick up the second red rock. So yeah, we're just pretty much gonna replay the same turn as last turn. But he has less cards in hand now. Feels good, man. So yeah, we'll bottom deck the second one, and probably just go 8/8 again. But we are on 1 life, so we might want to play a blocker. Yeah, I will play a blocker. Just because if he has another one, I just block the attack with Missile Sunday, and then get back my red rock to do it again. So, yep. He'll Otama Marco my Sentomaru. Yeah, that's chill. He'll go 5 at life. I'll defend. He'll go 6 at life. I'll defend again. And he's leaving 3 up for defense, but still no blocker. So, yeah. My hand is getting a little bit cluttered with top end. I could play that 10-drop Kaido, but I just don't think it's worth it. I think I'd rather just put a little bit more pressure on life and then play some blockers just to make sure I live. Not that I'm like, I think if I remember exactly how the 10-drop Kaido works, I could have bounced like the Marco and the Jozu, and then I wouldn't have died because he'd just have an Otama and then his leader swing. So yeah, I end up not going for life here just because I would have swung for 14, and I had a feeling that he had, an amount of radical beams and such. I respected it, and I opted to clear board instead of going for a game. So, like, it should be fun because I should just be able to live and then go for game in a safer turn where I know I can get it rather than there. So, plays down the ace. I can pretty easily defend the pacifistas, but he actually just goes for my life. So, yeah, we'll just defend that too. That's cool with me. And he'll go 6. I'm surprised he just didn't throw a swing at one of the pacifistas. I don't know. It's fine though. We'll grab back a 3,000 Worlds. Doesn't really matter at this point. We're just gonna go for game. So we'll swing 6 at his leader, and then we can swing for 16, which 2 radical beams cannot get out of. And yeah. So I swing for 15 just so I can swing with my leader just in case. But and he did actually have the 2 radical beams, so I was happy I respected it that other turn. But anyways, thank you guys for watching.